on.
Yeah.
All right. Woohoo! You tell us when we're ready, Gracie.
Yeah.
We're ready.
Okay.
We're on. We are on.
Okay, we're on.
Yay, we made it.
I know.
Your
all the
plane
way-
finally landed.
It did. We're so sorry about technical difficulties.
So if it's Wednesday,
Right.
it's Kate and Janice is back on Facebook
know,
Live.
I know.
Thanks so much, you guys, for waiting. But you know, it's like when the rock star enters the building, there's a little
Stop.
bit. Janice was like in her
Stop.
green room,
Don't
kind of
speak.
with only
Don't
eating,
speak.
only eating the brown M&Ms, and you know, so we had to pull her out of her trailer.
Don't speak.
It's funny. How's everybody doing? It's great to
Yeah.
see everybody. So it's Kate and Janice in
Yes.
front of the camera. We've got Grace and Brandywin and Emily behind the camera. Emily's going to be doing some moderating today. So we've got a full packed, action-packed episode. So we're going to go a little bit late. Right now it's about 10:45 Pacific time. So thanks you guys for hanging around waiting for us to jump on. We really, really appreciate it. We did have a few technical difficulties with our fancy camera. So, but I think
Everything was updated.
yeah,
Crazy.
but it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I think we're ready to go.
Yeah.
How do we look, Em?
Great, and lots of hellos.
All right.
Are my god babies saying hello? Josie and Noe and Charlotte and Merritt and Frankie and Charlie.
Not
Oh
yet.
my gosh,
But
that's impressive, Janice.
Gita and Darla and Debbie.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
Karen and Lean and Mimi
Oh,
is there.
well, welcome.
and
Hi,
Meredith.
everybody.
And
It's
then
great
Eli,
to see you as always.
Eli, love you.
Yes.
Gopka
Yes.
is coming home soon.
Yes. So as you guys know, Janice has moved back east and
Yes.
is working with, we call it Bead Shop East.
Yes.
She is certainly working so much on those episode notes and every time content. So
New products.
So
Yes.
you've been really prolific on your month
Yes,
away.
and you know what's interesting is this is my first project that I have done out of office.
Yes.
So I didn't say, oh, I want to use a different 3mm. Let me just go in and look at the 3mm.
Right.
I had to work.
You had to
just
shop like a customer.
Yes, and it was really interesting. And it turns out that even with what I had, it was more than enough.
Right.
I didn't even use everything I was asked, to look at.
Right.
So,
Well, I'm super excited to get to
Yeah.
this project. But first,
Yeah.
Gracie, how are you doing back there?
I'm good.
All
Mind
right.
if I pan down below?
No, please.
No.
Let's do
Yes.
it.
See this.
Yeah.
setup, Janice.
delicious,
Sorry, it's shaky
deliciousness.
Yes. So
Yes.
Gracie's going steady cam. So we're gonna we're going for it, you guys.
Yes.
It's great. So we wanted to just jump in and talk. Every week, Janice, you've been doing some moderating on the other side of
Yeah.
the
Yeah, I love it.
computer, which is great. We've got some, let's just jump right into some viewer mails.
Yes, please.
I've got some great stuff
Yes.
from people. So let me start off first by saying we received an email. I received it yesterday, actually, yesterday afternoon, and Veronica wrote in. Hi, Veronica. Thank you so much for watching. And what she...
Where's Veronica from?
She didn't
Did she say?
No,
Oh.
she didn't. But she said that she loves our Facebook Live broadcasts, and she had a couple of questions, and I thought that they would be perfect questions to kind of start this broadcast off with.
Okay.
So she said her questions to us are along the bohemian, vintage, and creativity line. So her question one is, she says, I am so, lots of O's, very creative challenged. Do you have any recommendations on getting my creative color juices even remotely
That's such
flowing?
a great question.
It is.
Yeah, it really is.
And you kind of talking about, well, getting your creative juices flowing, looking at the website and picking out your different things that you're going to use this. And you're actually going to start doing a broadcast from back east.
I am.
And that's one of the things maybe that you're going to jump in and talk about first is
How you
you pull your color creativity from the website, right?
Yes, yes. It's a kind of a trick with using screenshots and dragging and dropping the pictures into a document, like
and kind
a
of
Google,
playing around with it.
and then looking at them together. But the beauty of this project is everything goes with everything.
Yeah.
pick 3 colors. Doesn't matter. Pick 3 colors.
And we'll link, Veronica, in the episode notes. Janice and I did a couple of really great episodes talking about color, and so we've got a couple of good color resources. So we'll link those in the episode notes. But her second question was, she's very drawn to the bohemian look.
That's a great question.
And where can she begin to learn about everything bohemian as related to jewelry, color, style, etc.? Now, bohemian or boho chic, it's kind of a word that's being tossed around a lot. In kind of the, fashion and jewelry world, right?
But it stems really from several hundred years ago of, when everything was regimented in Europe and you did art a certain way and you dressed a certain way and you could only get sponsorship from a wealthy person if you were a musician or an artist. And then people started to break out and they were called bohemians.
Living the bohemian lifestyle.
Yes, and so since then, it's come down through history as being a style of like rebellion, artsy,
Free spirit.
the hippies of the 60s were called bohemians or beatniks, or of the 50s, and it's taking away pattern, like if you were looming conventional patterning and throwing the kitchen sink in, making a stew of a whole bunch of different things, and being arty. And you can pretend you're arty before you're actually arty.
It's true.
You know, go out there, Veronica, and pretend, and eventually it'll stick.
Yeah, that's right. Well, right now at the DeYoung Museum up here in San Francisco, they're having an exhibit as an ode to the Summer of Love. And if you go to the DeYoung website, you can kind of see a little bit of a preview of that. And I know they probably have a great exhibition catalog and stuff. So that kind of distills, I think, the bohemian spirit of,
It also helps to have lived through the 60s.
Right. My mom, I asked my mom, I said, Ma, do you want to go see that exhibit? She goes, Kate, I was there. I lived it. She goes, I don't want to revisit it.
So when I say to Ashley, I said, well, do you want to know what I did in the 60s? And she says, Mom, too much information.
My mom.
I don't want to know what you did back then.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was.
A lot of people are saying that they love boho, and many more people are saying how much they love seeing you two together.
Oh, it's great. It's great to be here.
I know. I couldn't be doing this, living on the East Coast, loving my grandson, helping my daughter, if it weren't for Kate and this amazing team.
I couldn't be doing it without the team. And you guys who support us every day with your great messages and stuff. We appreciate
I feel the love. I really feel the love.
Lots of highs from all over Montreal, Southern California, Texas.
Bonjour, Montreal.
Gita is putting in a plug for Beach Shop Europe.
Yeah, Gita, you never know what's going to happen.
From Finland and Hawaii and Michigan and Chautauqua, New York.
Oh, it's great.
And Gita's also posted a link to the DeYoung.
Oh, great.
Oh, good.
And that
Thanks,
she loves
Gita.
your green blouse on you.
Oh, yay.
Oh, that's me.
That's
Yes.
you. That's why I said yay.
Yeah, you don't have the green blouse.
I know, but I said yay for your green blouse.
Okay.
That's
Well,
what
I like your stripes.
My stripes.
And we had Louise.
Yes, Louise and Karen. We
And
took a
I
darling
want to
photo.
post that in episode
Yeah,
notes.
it was cute.
3 stripers in
Yes.
one day. It was like
It was awesome.
inmates.
So, right, the bead, the lunatic asylum.
Yeah,
Yes, that's right. So I'm going to share, because we've got to move on to this
Are
great
you going
project.
to go to the Finland
But
button?
we have 3 great projects I
Yes,
want to share
okay.
with you that kind of encapsulate kind of the boho spirit. One, I'm going to start with Amy's. And Amy says, good morning, ladies. I've been meaning to send this for a while and finally remembered to snap a quick pic. It's from the Beaded Berry episode. A shout out to you, Emily. And she used the African vinyl beads that have been sitting in her stash.
Yes.
And so she grew into a wrap bracelet. Anyway, she's been pairing this with her across cultures, which Grace and I are going to be doing next week. And so she sent this fantastic picture with the beaded berry.
I love with the green in the background.
Yeah, and it's a
whole
great
thing
photo.
is-
Let me get my coffee cup out of the way. But this, I think, really encapsulates the kind of a nice boho spirit. You've got that okay there? Whoops. Thank you.
You're up.
And I'm going to, do you want me to make it a little bit bigger, Gracie?
You're good.
Or is that, maybe I'll go back out. You can see over here, that's our across cultures. That's those African trade
Vinyl
beads that are made
beads.
out of the vinyl. Here's those snake beads.
Yeah.
And then look at here, her beaded berry, and it looks like it's a double wrap. So how fun and free-spirited is that? It really looks great.
Yeah, yeah, it really does.
Yeah. And then we've got, so thank you, Amy, so much for sharing that. That looks amazing. And then we've got a couple more. I wanted to share this one, Helena from Finland.
Yes.
Hello, my dear Helena friend, our dear friend from Finland. We have some beautiful photos that she sent that I think really kind of encapsulate kind of the boho, kind of a cool boho spirit of her photos. If I can pull them up, here they are.
There they are.
So she did some wrap bracelets, and what she did, these are actually, she mentioned that she used cotton cord, so she made them vegan because they were for 2 of her vegan friends. And you can see she also used a button that's made out of wood. That, and Helena, I want to know if you painted this button yourself. But she based this, you can kind of base this on our 5-stitch project.
Yep.
She has some herringbone in here. Some laddering, and then check out this other one that's really, you're gonna love it. Hopefully I'm scrolling the right way. Look at this green one with this really great, the plywood button. Isn't that
And then
fantastic?
how she worked the orange,
yeah,
tangerine.
all the colors and the herringbone.
Yeah,
It really
Yeah.
looks fantastic.
it really does.
Yeah.
It really does.
So I think those really encapsulate the kind of bohemian spirit very nicely.
Yeah.
And then I have one last one that I think is going to really lead up into what we're doing today, Janice.
And which one is that one, Katie?
well, let me tell you, Janice.
Okay.
This was Joyce from Connecticut, and it's her first
Yes.
soft flex project with double wire. And Joyce, I think you did a fantastic job. Let's take a look, and I know, Gracie, you can probably get in kind of tight. Joyce used a lampwork glass bead, and then underneath, you can see here, she's got a double strand of soft flex, but notice kind of that double strand went under her glass bead, and then under these cubes, and then she started to break them out into the doubled strands, using 2 strands of 11/0, going through that double hold tila, 2 double strands of the more 11/0. So it kind of goes from 1 strand to 2 strand, and that's kind of what we do here a little bit with this color study wrap. We use some of those tiles or any 2-hole beads that work nicely.
Right, and what she did, which was so nice, is that, if I may borrow your pointer.
Yes, do.
Is that
Please
she
do.
used like the tiara hishi
Yeah.
to bring the 2 together.
To taper a little.
To taper, yeah, so that they would, it just gives it a little kind of, I
little
want to
gentle
say a
slope.
little waistline.
Yeah.
You know, it's not so 2 lanes of the freeway.
Right.
It's going in.
It merges.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's sort of meandering.
Yeah, it's
nice.
really lovely.
It's nice to see in a design a little meandering
Mm-hmm.
like that. It shows that you've taken the time to, make it, to curate it.
Yeah,
So
and it also gives your
it's-
eye,
yeah.
I think, a place to rest a little bit, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And I do love that where this is kind of, the design is sort of regimented, but it also kind of goes like from here and then, I'm going to try this, and
Right.
now I'm going to try this. And then
Right.
she just patterned that, reversed that to the other side. So
Exactly.
you didn't have to make it up again over here.
Exactly.
So it has kind of a, maybe a pattern feel, but also kind
A
of
symmetry.
yeah.
It has a symmetry.
A symmetry
And
to
then and then how this is repeated here.
Yeah,
So
intentional
it's
repeat.
saying, it's saying, hey, I'm going to wander around for a while, but let me remind you that there is this beautiful ivory color in the bead, and it's all working.
Yeah.
It's like a symphony that has
that
an
has some
ending.
structure.
Yeah, it has
It's really
structure.
great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, you guys, for sending these in. And it falls right into what we've got here.
Right.
This is kind of meandering with structure.
Right. I don't even
You've
wanna
got color
take it
study.
off. I don't
so, well, you're going to
I
have to take it off a little bit.
I know.
So let's talk about this color study,
Okay.
JP. This was your project. This was a project right out of that pretty little brain of yours. So how did this come about?
It started out as I was working on, it was when laddering was starting to become popular, and we also started getting in they're called checks, CHEXX, checks beads, and they're these beads that stack like this.
Right, and they have the holes kind of going up.
Yeah, and I've done such a poor job on this that you can even see I didn't even get all the holes.
Well, you know.
But this was a
great.
first project. It still looks great.
And this one, these
I
are
did
all
it-
under our projects, just to say.
It's under color study. And under our projects, and then you can download the handout.
Yeah, the handout's
And this
incredible.
handout was actually done in parts. So this was one part, and then we didn't do Facebook Live at the time. We just sent out a newsletter and said, okay,
Next
part
one's
2
up.
is ready. And then, and I was just taking different stitches, and I worked in I'll move this for a second. I was just working in one color, basically. It was a study. The notion is it's just a study in like one color. And it took off. It was like, it was really, really popular. And then I said, okay, well, let's do another one.
This is the one in charcoal.
This is the charcoal one. It also uses those check beads and uses Tyler's, the Miyukis.
And what I love about this is this check bead is transparent. And so not only do you get kind of some color variation, but getting the light through this bead, it's delicious. They're like, you know, when you're walking on the sidewalk and there's those little like subway tiles or glass tiles where the subway shines through. That's what that reminds me of. I
and
love
then
it.
we have one
got it
by
right here.
Lacey McAdoo that she did when she worked here. And this is very pretty. She calls it Amore, is that?
Yeah, it's Amour.
Amore. Okay.
Oh, no, Amour Rose.
Amore Rose. And this is really pretty. And she did a spectacular job
with that chain. I can't wait to teach me how to do that.
But everyone can take it differently. They can stay in one color. What I did this time, and what really sort of got my juices flowing, and I really couldn't stop.
I remember, we were talking about this, and I said, Janice, mail this in.
I know.
We have
I
to
just
bring
said
this to a close.
I had to stop with 8 wraps.
Right.
I just had to.
But you would have gone...
I would have gone to 9.
Yeah.
I couldn't really have done more than 9 with the 4 yards of the leather. I could have maybe stretched it to 9. I mean to 10. So this first section, for those of you who, like when we, should I just talk about this now?
Yeah, that's
Well, before you start,
yeah.
Linda says that she loves color study. It was the first wrap she made from beadshop.com, but she made it in the charcoal.
Oh.
And then Christine says all-time favorite is charcoal with the heart.
Yeah.
emoji. And
Yeah,
I just wanted to say that before you started.
It's been a really fun project.
It's a fun road.
So this time, I'm not working with everything in the shop. I have to work with what was sent to me, like everybody else. And so I started out, the first thing I want to say is I used the new leather. And it was 1.0, and it's the leather that we're getting now that's in beautiful colors, and it's seamed. So
right, so there's no knots.
there are no knots, but there might be a little place. I had some here. You might find in a 2-yard length like a little seam. And I thought, well, I want to try it before we start carrying 25 colors. It's very hard to find the seam in these. But you will find somewhere along the line there might be a little where they splice it together.
But it's hardly noticeable.
And I found that it took the wear and tear
Yeah, it stands up.
very easily. So now we're going to start carrying it in a bunch
and
of
I
colors.
really like how, because a lot of times we do our wraps on 1.5.
Yes, I did it on 1.0.
And I feel like that, especially if you're doing a wrap that has multiple wraps, like we're doing, this is an 8-strand epic journey, right?
Yeah.
This 1.0 millimeter makes things a little less bulky.
It does.
So when you're wrapping and wrapping and wrapping, it doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm wrapping this leather forever.
Right.
I really like it.
So for this one, it's not one color, but you want to bring the buttons over
Yeah.
here.
You bet I want to bring those buttons over.
The initial inspiration for this was the glass buttons, and I had one of each that was shipped to me.
Yep, Cara put them in a bag.
To choose from, and I decided on this lovely amber gold or dragonfly. And the way I started doing this one, in keeping with color study, is I love this project to be a warm-up. You know, you don't know where you're going to end up.
Right, so this section is your warm-up.
This is my warm-up. I decided, okay, well, let's do a little of everything. Let's see how things look. And it's pretty much a mirror image. So this sort of repeats this, but I was just going, okay, just move along. And then I wanted to make it what would fit around my wrist. So each section up to a point was this, what is it, 7.5 inches or something from the middle of that. It's 6.5.
So it's about
because
one
then you
wrap.
have to add the length of the loop. So it's about one wrap around. And then I did the next one. I stopped it, and we're going to show you how you do this. And then I started this one. I pre-strung on each tail of the tough cord. And then I started a new section, and this one also was the same length. This one is, I said, okay, I want to really do something where there's a center. So I did a design up to a point, and about the 3 1/4 mark or 3 mark, I said, okay, that's the center of my wrap.
And so then you
So
just
then I
flipped
put
it.
that in, and then I just flipped the pattern. And then I said, oh wait, I remember I have some of these big shadows.
Yeah.
Why don't I use those?
Right.
I forgot I had them.
So now is the time.
So like, you know,
Let's
no
have it.
biggie, just
Yeah.
throw it in. And then I did the chain,
The wheat
which
chain,
we
which
want
is
to talk
beautiful.
about. Yeah, but this was, oh, I want to do it longer. I wanted it to really go all the way around, so from every angle
You could see the
saw the
chain.
chain. So I made that one a bit longer. And then I said, okay, well, I want to macrame again, but I'm really enjoying this.
Right. So you just kept going.
I did, and what I did here is, you know, I want to show, because I knew we were doing this for Facebook. I want to show you don't have to do the exact same thing. You can also do 2, then 4, then 2, then 4. You know, you can
Whatever
change.
works.
You can change it up however you want. And then I just started going long. I just said, I'm having too much fun. So forget that, you know,
Yeah,
go around
forget
once.
the regiment.
And then-
You started living the bohemian lifestyle,
I
really,
did.
right
and
here.
then I said, I'm going to put in some of the tilers and just
This
see
is
what
my
the tile
favorite.
looks like.
When this came
Yeah.
in, everybody
Yeah.
focused on this half
Yeah.
tila
Yeah.
section.
Yeah.
I just love how it looks.
But I want to also, I don't know if you can see this mistake. There are 2 mistakes here.
Can you bring it a little closer?
Yes,
Janice?
yes. Tell me when to stop, okay?
Oh, I see it. Okay.
You see those?
Right there's a little thread
A
there.
thread there where I missed
Going through the hole.
the middle bead. Yeah, you have to, but again, just keep going.
Keep going. What I love about this section also is the color of the thread here,
Yes.
the KO as a contrast, and it really picks up how there is a little bit of a red tone in this half tila.
Yeah.
It's really
And there are some mistakes.
lush.
I'll turn it over. Here, let me turn it over. Here, I went, instead of going around, I didn't go around, and then I went back through. So it is not perfect. I'm supposed to be the queen of beading, right?
that's
And-
what they say.
And then here you'll see is where I
Where you
added
your
a thread. I added another thread. I didn't want to stop doing this, but
No.
it wasn't long enough.
So you just kept
So
going.
I could have said, okay, it's long enough and stop, but I just was having so much fun. And then I graduated down, and then I said, you know what? This was like an ode to you,
My favorite bead.
the shadows. So I said,
it's
okay. So I put in I put in the shadows. And then this section,
This I'm crazy about. You use bugles.
I use bugles.
They're a new product, newish
Yeah.
product for
We've
it.
used it in a few.
Yeah, it's the same bugle I used last week in Lovely
Yeah.
Blooming that Gracie and I used.
Yeah.
But look at how different this looks, you guys,
When you ladder
when
it.
you ladder with it. I am just thinking about laddering with bugles. It's really fixed in my brain.
Well, and then this section, I want to do my next one with delicas. Mm-hmm. And,
It'll look great.
And it, you know, they're more like a tube, so
Mm-hmm.
they'll. And it's just a very simple pattern of 4 and then 4, 4 and then 4. And
So it looks like a little chain.
Yeah, it does.
Can you pick it up?
Oh, sure.
And you could also translate this pattern into looming.
You could.
That'd be a
So
fun
it's
loom
sort of
pattern.
like my non-bohemian section. You know, because there's a point where you go, okay, I'm free-spirited, but then
I
it
need a little
also,
regimentation.
it's just like, I want to go back to this one for a second, Grace.
Yeah.
What I think we all love about this is the relief. Ah,
Right.
I have just a section
And
of
it just-
solid
yeah.
one thing, and my eye doesn't have to, oh, there's so much going on, and then there's this, it's like looking out on the ocean.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. It's
You know,
a nice pause.
the horizon.
Yeah.
And then I come to the end, macrame close, macrame on. I can bring it up. Do you want me to bring it up?
Sure. And Ashley joined.
Oh, Ashley. Hi, Bunny. Hi, Bunny. I love you.
Okay.
Miss
Ashley,
you.
Can you lower it a little bit?
Yeah,
to bring
sure.
it out? Perfect.
Your mom's on as well.
Oh, hi, Mama. There's my mom.
Well, my Ashley came on first.
I don't know. My
I
mom's.
just
Kate's
made the
mom.
announcement.
Yeah.
No,
she's
my mom is in heaven. You can't top that.
No.
But your mom is an amazing beater. So,
Well, it's
hi,
true.
Gwynnie.
There she is.
Yep. Hi,
Watching us in
Gwynnie, yes.
Fresno. So what I love
Yeah.
about this is there's a couple of things that I want you guys to take notice. Do you guys remember on the creamsicle project that I did on Facebook Live on Friday? This was a bead that's in that strawberry lemonade mix. And Grace and I both remarked when we were looking at the different strands how much we loved this bead. And this is the 11-aught. It's the matte opaque antique beige.
Yes.
And I feel like this is like my second favorite bead to shadows.
Yes.
Because if you look at this whole thing, it gives a beautiful, kind of a beautiful background, especially with this. And I don't usually
Fresh.
gravitate to have, it is. Gravitate
Yeah.
to my background being light. I would go, oh, I'm going to go dark here, you
Yeah.
know? But it looks fantastic. And I also love how it's perfect for making that, like what you were saying,
Yeah.
that taper or that
Yes.
waistline.
Yes.
Quick question about the leather. A viewer doesn't know what we use. Julie.
Seafoam, we use the Seafoam 1.0.
And then you guys, just as a note, if you go to our Facebook Live page on beadshop.com, there's a complete shopping list for this project. This is this is something that we would love to kit, but there's so many moving parts for it that we thought you guys can choose what works for you.
Right.
So there's a complete
There's like
ingredients list.
18 ingredients.
Yeah, so you can find it all there.
Color study is not for the weak at heart. Color study is, you know,
When you're ready.
when
for a
you're ready.
challenge.
But you know what? The way we're going to do it today, you could break up
Yeah.
any one of the parts and make individual
make it,
wraps.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And so, any other questions, Gracie, before we move on to just getting started?
I don't think so.
Hello
All right.
from your mom.
Hi, Mama.
Oh.
No,
We got a
it's-
couple of first timers who are finally getting to
Oh,
watch it.
great.
Welcome.
Great.
And again, sorry about that delay, you guys, but we're back with steam.
We're
show
back.
must go on.
All right, that's right.
Okay,
So,
so-
Janice, you started by this is a kind of a traditional laddering project.
Yes.
And you use the deep dish design board to ladder.
I do.
So
I
let's
do.
show-
And I set up.
Let's show everybody.
I
how
set
that
up,
looks. I want the sample though. Don't let the sample go
sorry,
too far.
sorry.
I want it. I want it.
So I want to show everyone how I set up my board. I swear by this little design board, this little thing,
The deep dish.
and
Do we wanna move the other
because
way?
I didn't have the cotton cord. So I used rubber bands and clips.
Right.
And
so
I love it. And in fact, I didn't need to be honest. If I'm really honest with everyone, I did not even have the clips. And I had the rubber bands, and I just went and I put the rubber band like this
around
over the side.
corner.
And it was
And
like,
it works.
this is great.
Wow.
But this works just, you know, and the nice thing about the rubber band is it breathes.
Right.
So it doesn't put as much stress on your leather as like a cotton cord. But I love the cotton cord, but I'm just saying I fell in love with rubber bands.
Well, and you used what you had.
So I found the middle of the leather because it's 4 yards length and I didn't know how long it was going to be. And I just clipped it on here, wrapped it around 3 times, then I clip it on here, again with a rubber band. In between, before I ended it, I did put on a few of these. I'll lie, I didn't put them on, and that's why I forgot them. But if I were you, I would put them on so that when you're ready, you can just pull it up.
Right.
But I forgot I had them.
Well, it's okay.
So don't do what I did at home. So remember your products. And in the original color study, I used some of these other interesting
Those old
African
Cameroons,
beads,
yum.
and I used this
Yeah.
Picasso aged wampum.
They're so good.
Yeah. So
And I
this
love how you use that in the middle of this macrame
yeah,
section.
it's really
nice.
yeah. But
And
I
the
do think
ingredients
this is
list
one
for all
point.
of this it is on the website.
Yes, it is. It is. It's always getting harder now getting the vintage antique things. So we do our best. We do our best.
We
Okay.
make some substitutions.
So I would start. I like this.
So you're using KO.
I'm using KO on
Right.
this. I've changed it up a bit from when I first did this project.
What did you
And
ladder with the first time?
I think I used Tough Cord
Okay.
1. And this time I'm just using KO, and I'm also using Tough Cord 1 in turquoise. So I wanted to use 2 different materials, one for macrame and one for
and
laddering.
one for laddering. But what you did here if we look at where Janice started, you macrameed with that KO
I did.
to start.
I did.
Right? And it
Yeah.
looks great. So let's
Okay.
jump in and start with that.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with that too.
Okay, so I have
I've got
take
some
one
needles,
of the needles, and I just I'm not the seed bead queen like Emily is.
She is the seed
I
bead
just
queen.
put like an overhand knot at the end, and I know,
Right?
I know I should use a bead stopper,
Yeah.
but I'm macrameing. Okay,
Right.
so I need, I guess, about maybe 8 inches.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn this around. I need about 8 inches. Am I
Come over there.
sorry?
Do you want me to go over there?
Do you want to?
If you
Would
want,
be,
sure.
What do you think, Gracie? Do you want me to hold the phone while you walk around?
Sure.
Alrighty. There we go.
Okay, so I have, it's all doubled,
Uh-huh.
and I cut about 2.5 to 3 yards.
Now, did you wax this thread?
No, I didn't, but
Okay.
you could.
All right.
Waxing is like other areas we wax. It's a personal choice.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my, you're so funny, Janice.
It's true, you know.
Oh, Janice, don't go.
I'm like at the manicurist last night, and they do wax, and I'm going, should I do my mustache? I'm
No.
not talking about other waxing.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
talking
Just-
about my
just-
mustache.
just face
So
it.
I have a short end, but it's
Okay.
all doubled, and I'm going to macrame now.
Okay.
And we
So
will
this
link.
short end is, again, you said about 8 inches.
It's
over
about
here in
8.
your
It's
left
about
hand.
8 inches,
Okay,
and
so
I'm
that's
just
what I'm
going to
doing, too.
bring it under.
And you guys, on the Skill Builders, you know where to find all of this info. If you go to beadshop.com and you go to our projects, you will find so much information in our Skill Builder section, including your basic how to macrame. So I know we might be going a little bit fast here for this one, but just hang in there with us. There's so many online resources that you can find with us to find all of that. Now, Janice, when you started your macrame, how close did you go to that button shank?
I'm about a quarter of an inch away.
You need a little bit of air, right?
Yeah,
so
you
that
need
button
wiggle
moves.
room. Yeah. And then I'm just gently pulling it up now that I've started it.
Gosh,
So
your
I'm
thread is all controlled. Mine isn't a big
Well,
spazzing a
you
little
don't
bit
need
here.
the needle. Let the needle go.
Okay.
Okay, so
So,
watch.
yeah.
So just my needle is basically in my lap. I'm not
Okay.
even using it.
All right.
So I have the short end and I've got this end and I'm holding it both at about maybe 4 inches,
Okay.
right?
Oh, I
so
see.
I'm going to make this loop.
Uh-huh.
I go under,
Okay, that's better.
and I don't even ever see the needle.
But you're also treating these double threads as if they were one.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. But when you
I'm
stop
better.
trying to bring the needle through,
Okay.
it just goes really
Okay.
easily. If you forget which side you're on, then you just look and see which side has the loop.
That's a little, the little bridge.
Do you want to get something? Are you
No, I'm
comfortable?
good. Are
You're
you
okay?
okay
No,
that I'm in
I'm
your
fine.
face?
I'm fine.
All right.
Okay.
I'm
so,
okay, you're okay?
Somebody would like to see a close shot of how the other end is attached with the clip and the rubber band.
Okay.
This side.
Okay. Let's just let's just finish
No, just to let you know.
this.
Thank you.
Now, what you can do here is you can take just a little bit of glue. So I'm bringing this
How
through
long
now.
do you need
'cause
to make this macrame?
just to clear the button, I think.
Okay.
Not too long.
All right.
And we gotta-
Mimi's very happy to hear you guys talking about steaks.
Oh yeah, I make
and
all
she says
kinds
she-
of them.
Always kick
you wanna
myself
do
when a
the-
project is not perfect.
You show the ends how
We
it's
also
clipped.
have a
Do you
question
need some
about
glue?
is that doubled KO thread?
Yes, it is doubled.
Yeah. And it
That's
is
why,
KO.
and that's why it looks as thick as it is.
Do you want some hypo cement?
Yeah,
And do
So-
we have? You are going without a plastic baggie to glue.
I am. I'm just
You are a brave woman.
I'm just going right here.
Just a
the
little
ends.
dot.
Just the little dots.
Then hand it to me. I'll put the lid on because I'm going to dot mine too
Okay.
right now. Thank you. A dot on both sides, JP, right?
Yeah. So then what I want to do is I'm going to
sneak
start
around and
seed
get this
beading.
lid. I'm getting the lid. There we go.
So do you want to show everyone, Gracie, how I've used the spool of the tough cord? You could use anything. And then will you hand me a KO spool?
Sure.
So this is gonna, just so I have nice tension, and then I want to separate them a little bit.
Mhm.
So I'll use the spool of KO.
That's smart.
There you go.
Look at that.
Ready for waxing.
Look at there I am. See, see, Gracie,
Yeah.
there I am.
Yeah.
Zoom in. Hold on, Kate.
I did it.
Geet is commenting, JP, you're working really on the back.
I'm
That's right.
working on the back. Yes, yes.
Right. So notice, and why do you do that, Janice? Work on the back.
Just habit so that I can see where the end of my button is. How I want to make sure I'm so it's not just habit. You also want to be able to know how much space you have here, and if you were working on the front, you wouldn't know.
You wouldn't see it, right.
see how close am I to that. So it just makes sense. Now you can easily reposition and turn it over at this point.
If
So-
you wanted.
If you wanted. Okay, so I have just a little drop of glue.
Uh-huh.
And if I had remembered to bring the Scotch tape, I would have. Brandywin, can you grab the Scotch tape?
Yes. Oh, the-
What I want to do, because now we don't use thread burners like we used to. I want to just weave this in a couple of,
So it'll stay.
just a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah, I don't want to cut it. Thank you. I don't want to cut it immediately.
So you're just gonna tape it
I'm
down.
just going to tape it down so that
Where are you
as
taping it?
I'm just taping it to the tough cord, just
Okay.
so that it's not flailing around. Okay, now let's get some of those 11/aughts.
Okay. And does it matter on which side you end to have your needle? Do you want your needle in your
No.
left hand or your right hand? It
Doesn't matter. Whatever,
All right.
whatever
works.
floats your boat.
All right.
Okay.
My boat is floating on my right hand.
So the only thing
I'm
that
gonna
you
grab
want to
some tape.
remember
Mm-hmm.
when you're doing, because we're doing infinity stitch, is you only add a bead from one side.
Okay.
Choose your side you want to add from. So if you even need to write a post-it note that says add, then you always know
That
it
you're
goes
adding from the left
right.
or the right.
Or the right, left or right, but it's one
Not
or the
both.
other.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you just you start with one little 11/aught, or if you're going to do 8/aught or whatever it is, but the 11/aughts are really, let me stop chatting a second. So I've put on one 11/aught.
Okay. I'm going to put on
Okay?
one. Okay, I've got
And
it.
then now I'm going to go under.
Okay, I'm under.
So bring it under, bring it under to the other side.
Try not to poke yourself with the needle like I just did.
And you will see that it takes a second, like a couple of little things I want to pull away. So can you see that, Gracie, that's in there now? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is you get used to holding it from underneath, and then you take the needle, and as Emily says, the thread sort of works itself out. You don't really have to worry. So I'm still, in order to get it under, because I don't want it wobbling around, I have to bring it over first.
And
I hold my finger on top and below it. And you don't want to have any tools sitting around, because let me tell you, these threads will just automatically go around everything that's in sight. The edge of your board, the tool plier handles. So now what I want you to remember is before you do another stitch, you want to go under
that piece of leather.
Now this first bead, this is where everyone says, my first bead, what do I do? It keeps popping out. It pops out. Well, you want to start down low enough that you have a little bit of air, so that helps. But you also want to go back through this first one a second.
To reinforce it.
Yeah, and it'll keep it in there. So I'm going across.
That's what I'm doing.
I'm going across.
Questions?
Yeah. Okay.
One question is, how long is your KO, Janice?
I cut 3 yards.
Okay.
But you could start with 2 yards. If this is your first time doing this, go with 2 yards. You can always add a thread.
And somebody wants to know if you can use, Susan wants to know if you can use Eslon instead of KO.
Yes, you can.
And Kathy says, I add a small bead to the end of one strand so I know which is the side to start on.
Oh, a small bead to one end. How do you do that? You add a small bead
To the end of one strand so I know which is my side.
I think she maybe means the leathers.
you're doing
Oh, on her leather, yeah. So it's the side, maybe there's a little bead on the leather.
Okay, so my thread just got.
Did you split your thread with your
No,
needle?
I didn't. There's just a little knot in it, and I want to.
You need an awl.
I do.
I
That's a new-
split my thread coming back through
Oh.
with my needle.
Oh.
So we're both kind of going, how
Okay.
do I
No,
fix
I
this?
got
There we
the-
go. I got
This
mine
is the
too.
most forgiving thread on the planet. It is.
Well, and
But
also,
an awl would probably.
it's that first bead, when you set up that first bead. It's like I always say, stringing takes no time, but the clasp always takes some time.
So Emily, will you get me tweezers?
Sure.
I know I didn't. I
There
don't
should
want
be
to.
some in there.
I don't want to go any further with. What's happened is
I
my
can trade
thread
this
has
with
gotten
you too,
wrinkled.
Janice, as soon as I
You know what
undo
Kate would
this.
say to the wrinkled thread?
What? Let it go.
Wax.
Oh,
baby,
wax.
Oh, I
it's-
feel like you would
I
say
could get
that.
this out in a second if I had
Oh,
my
the
tweezers. Yeah. If I just have the tweezers, or we are getting
Here, JP, do you want to switch and I'll get that out? Because this one's ready to go.
I got it. I just.
It's like that thread. It's like you can't stop,
Well, we
Getting
can
it.
see. We can see. I just want to show
yeah.
everyone. We can see that it's gotten a little twisted.
We're using hypo cement, correct?
We are hypo
Yes.
cement for the glue.
Okay, so now I don't want to forget to go
Nicely
under.
done. So I go under.
Under. You're always
Yeah.
each side. You're going to do the infinity stitch. You
It's a
want to
figure
go.
eight, like a little
Yeah,
infinity
that's
sign,
exactly
right?
what it
Yes.
is. Yeah. Okay.
Hence,
Okay, so then, it's this first bead that takes a few minutes to get on, and then away you go. So I'm just going to get this out of the way.
If you ran out of thread at this point,
At this point,
well, let me just finish my comment. If you ran out of thread,
yeah.
you could add a new thread, doing just what you did at the beginning, for just a couple of macrame knots and then pick right up again.
You could, but you know
Let's
how.
say you got a horrible tangle in your knot.
Well, if that happened at this point, I would say just cut it off and start again. But yeah, you could. You could just add. You could add another macrame knot or whatever, and away you go. So now, Katie, you're putting on 2 beads.
So I put on my 2 beads.
Okay, and then just to go back through again.
Right.
I want to cut this now because this is starting to irritate me.
It's getting in the
So it's getting in the way. So I'm going to use these thread scissors. These are on thread cutters.
So Kathy was
Under, always under. Kathy, what's?
Sorry, I'll let you finish.
No, Kathy.
Kathy cleared up her little comment about the when she's doing macrame and square knots, she adds a bead on which side of her working cord. So it helps her with the seal on when she can't tell which knot she just made the side on. Which side she just made a knot on.
So that goes under.
Okay, well, what my little trick is I just look at the side which has what I call the hump.
And that's the one that's the vertical.
Yeah,
from top
it's
to
like
bottom.
a little bridge, and then you go, okay, that's the one I need to.
Add a knot to.
So after my 2, JP,
Yeah.
I'm going to add 3.
Yep, add 3.
And so you just keep putting this,
Keep doing this. Yep.
keep putting this around until you've kind of opened up the leather as far as you want it to go, right?
Yep. Like you open.
So
I'm
maybe
sorry,
I'll
I'll move
do-
my hand out of the way.
Maybe I'll do 4. And then what you did on yours was
4 is nice for if you're doing the bugles.
the bugle, yeah.
'Cause
And
it's
I'm
a nice-
itching.
You're
to get
itching
to
to
the
do
bugle.
that. Okay.
So I'm gonna do one
Okay.
more
Okay.
3, and then I'm gonna put on the bugle.
Okay.
So what you've got here, and Grace, this is what Janice is doing here, right? Is then you just started to what we like to say audition the beads to
Right.
see how they laid, right, Janice?
Right. But you could go into one of the regular sections if you wanted. You could do it your way. You could say, okay, now I really am dying. You're dying to do the bugles. Just go straight to the bugles. Don't bother with my pattern.
Right.
You know, I should pick these up Emily's way.
That's what I'm doing. I'm
Boy,
Emily.
trying to do it in my
Right,
hand.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
And Lynn says she ties a small knot on the left side of the cord, which is the same idea as Kathy's.
Right.
as the bead, right? Except
The
it's a
left
little knot.
side of the cord. But is that laddering with 2 separate cords,
No,
or is
macrame.
Oh, macrame. But then the cord changes sides. It moves to the other
So I think
side.
that she always knows which one she just did.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's
just
that's a
check,
clever
just
idea.
follow the knot.
Oh, wait. See, I need one more. Now, I have a little trick if you put on too many beads.
Yes.
I take a plier and I crack the
Yeah,
bead
I
off.
do too.
I use my awl for that.
Yeah. It's sometimes it's playing with fire, but you don't want to because the glass bead can be a thread shredder.
Oh, I never thought about
Well,
that.
I always like to go to the worst case scenario.
But if you use an awl,
All right, Emily Miller. We'll show that on Seed Bead School. Those awls
yeah.
will be up by Seed Bead School.
Yeah. Well, they'll be up before Seed
No,
Bead
but
School.
they'll be in time for Emily to show them.
Okay. So do you want to go over and show what Kate's up to?
Sure.
Are you working on?
Yeah, I'm about to add this bugle here,
Yeah.
Gracie Grace. So let's see what this looks like.
You're just a little faster than I am.
So what I've got going on here is you can see that my first 4 rows. Are you good? Shall I scoot over or you've got it?
Got it.
So here's my first 4 rows, and I've taken pains to go under, and now here's my bugle. I still haven't cut this away, so maybe I'll come in, I'll get that Zuron thread scissor right over there, please, please and thank you. I'm going to clip this away, throw that thread to the side, and now I've got my bugle. So here's my bugle. This is my first time I've ever laddered with the bugle, you guys. Woohoo! Look at that. Doesn't that look... I think it looks
Looks great,
pretty
huh?
good. So I'm going to come underneath and then back through the top. And just like Janice does, I'm going to go all the way...
Don't forget to go under.
and send it all the way through, and then I'll go under that other leg. So the thing is also, you guys, laddering with 2 strands See, you want to make sure that both strands pull tightly. See how I have that little bubble of thread there?
Yep.
So I'll just come in and give a little tug on both to
And
make sure
yeah.
it's right, going
It's
all the
pretty
way
forgiving,
through.
don't you
Yeah.
Both at the same time, Kate, or one at a time?
One at a time. One at a time, just to make sure. And see how I just automatically flip that underneath. Now I'm ready for another bugle. So Janice, as this goes along and you're adding in your little shadows or other things, you can pop in and we can use, whoops, I need to go under.
Yep.
Let me do that. And now I'll go up
Especially
on the top.
with the 2-hole beads.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
where
yeah,
exactly where I was heading. So with a 2-hole bead, I'm going to add a 2-hole bead right now, you guys. So let me pull both of those, make sure our tension is right.
It's just like looming where you want to get to the top of the bead. So
And I'm
that
gonna
as
go
you
under.
go across, you don't leave a bead out. That's what I did on some of those half tiles.
So now I'm going to just throw in this this regular tile bead. So I've come and I've gone under, and so you guys know that tile bead, it has 2 holes there, right? You can see that. I'm going to come in, I'm going to go through, I'm going to treat this like it's 2 separate beads, right? So I go through, I go under, and then I grab my needle. Come here, needle. And then I go through that top hole, right? So I'll complete the complete pass through the top hole of the bead. Send this underneath that left side. Now I'm ready to go to my second hole. So I will. I'll go through and I'll go
Yeah,
I'll
you
go
go
through,
back through,
and I'm going to go underneath here on this side,
Right.
and then I'm just going to pop it right back through, and that captures both of the holes. And so on the half tile section, you guys, that you were seeing on Janice's piece, it was that coming back through that got a little missed.
Well, the
So,
middle bead.
yeah, the
because
middle.
I didn't. I just was having such a good time.
So I'm just going to put 2 little, look at how nicely those bugles, you guys, frame this tile bead. So Janice, how would I close this section off? I could macrame with my piece right
Yes.
here, right?
Yes, I actually cut the needle off.
And you split these 2
Split
threads?
the 2 and then do the
You
macrame.
with one of each,
Yeah.
right?
And then I finish.
Okay. Well,
That's one way of doing it.
you know what I'm going to do? I can just, do you want me to do that now?
Sure.
Do you wax your thread at all?
Well,
Kate does.
I
Kate loves
and this hasn't been waxed, and I'm ready to pull out my hair.
Well, let's wax it then. Just
Oh,
you know.
all right.
And what size needle are you using?
I'm using
10?
a 10.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was a 12.
No,
No.
you don't need a 12. It's just
Yeah, my go-to needle is really a 10. Sorry, there, Gracie. I was leaning. I want to grab a couple more because what I need to do is we need to, just like we did to start this sucker,
right.
we've got to
graduate
taper.
down. Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put on my 4, and I'm going to do the 4. And it looks like, Janice,
Do you want your beeswax?
I do.
Okay.
Now you're working with the half tilas. So
I
Gracie,
just said, you know,
while
hey,
I
feel
get to
like
this,
putting on some half tilas.
why don't we take a look at Janice's half tilas, and then I'll get this ready to macrame.
And really quick, just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's sharing our video.
Oh,
We have a lot of shares today.
We really appreciate you guys watching and sharing. You know,
Sorry,
when
Janice.
no,
Really?
you're fine.
our worldwide
Get comfy.
beading community is so good, and we're so pleased that you guys love it and share it and watch it and be creative.
We got a few tips with the breaking the beads. Somebody said to put the needle into the bead so you don't damage the thread.
Damage the thread. That is a great tip.
Oh, that's
And your mother said to make sure that nobody gets injured with flying parts.
Oh, thanks, Ma. Safety first.
See, now I don't want to, this is a really common thing. See, I didn't go under the thread yet. And it's really, you've got to make sure you go under. Got to go under.
Don't forget.
Especially as I get older, I forget everything.
Yeah,
I
now
really-
they're discussing color coding needles to be able to tell the difference. So
Oh,
I guess
that's an interesting thought.
Why do you need to, you mean
So
like,
you know different needle sizes.
well, that's what the needle case is for, right?
Oh, right. You have a needle case of.
Wait,
Tens.
wait,
Pilar
wait.
had a question about leather size. Do you think that 2
Oh, this is
millimeter
not-
leather size would be
wait.
too thick? for
No.
this?
It
No.
wouldn't be. I think the effect on a 2 millimeter leather would just be a little bit heavier.
Okay.
And did you always use the 1 millimeter for this color study, Janice?
No, I think some of them were done with,
With 1.5 maybe?
yeah.
Can I cut to that? Maybe I can show this one. here.
Yeah, sure.
And then Gracie, I'm ready for you when you are.
Sure.
And
I'm
that
just
was
gonna
a
show this one.
that was a 4-yard piece of leather. Correct.
Yes. 4-yard piece.
And what they're looking at now is the charcoal color study.
Yes.
Yes.
So this is with 1.5 leather, Janice?
I think so.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard because some of the leather is gotten thinner. The 1.0 has gotten thinner than it used to.
And you can
But
see.
we can look on the project
Yeah,
page.
of course. And we can see on my wrap bracelet that I've got here, Grace. The wrap bracelet, I've done this wrap bracelet with just the regular shadows, and I think I used 2 millimeter because I wanted the effect to be a little bit heavier. So can you see the difference here between this 1 and this 2? It's a pretty big difference.
I'm only seeing the 2 right now. I'll zoom in.
Can I?
I have,
don't know. Get
I
it in
have
there.
samples of 1 and 2 here.
Yeah.
It's kind
Do
of
you
hard to
wanna
see square,
grab-
depending how far away you see
Here
it.
we
Yeah.
go.
But I zoomed in.
Yeah, perfect. So now let's go ahead. So Janice, would
Yeah.
you reinforce this last single bead that's here?
Yes, you have
I
to-
would.
yes.
So
you
I'd
have-
go through. So you guys, you can see I've
just like
tapered
you
here
would at the beginning.
and I've tapered here, and I'm going to just come underneath just like we did here at the top, and I'm going to reinforce. I kind of scrape the tip of my needle along the top of that bead to make sure I'm not splitting any threads. Janice, what are you doing over there?
I'm catching all
Everything.
my thread, even though I've waxed it. I'm catching it on
Catching
pliers,
everything.
I'm catching it on
And we just
clips,
go
I'm
right
catching
back
it.
here. So I would now, for the moment of truth, JP,
Yes.
I'm going to
Let me see
cut the
what-
needle away, yeah? And
Let's
not,
see.
I'm right here.
Yeah. Now.
So
cut the
now I'm
needle-
just gonna
the
cut
needle
this,
away,
right?
And then
All right,
separate.
don't be scared.
No, don't be scared. Now separate the 2 threads.
Bam. Put this needle on
the case.
my case. Look
Yeah.
at my needle case. See
There
how
you
it's
go.
magnetic? Yes. Perfect.
Okay. Separate the 2 threads.
And I go from underneath, right?
Right. And
just
you know,
macrame.
You can just macrame. Yeah.
Would
Just, Or
okay.
you can put a half
A half inch?
knot if you
I'll do that.
If
I'm
you
gonna-
feel like, oh, I want to make sure it's
Yeah,
you know
nice and tight.
and then that's it.
All
And
right.
then
So now
yeah.
let's do it.
that's it.
I'm going to macrame like the cows are coming home.
Yeah, that's it.
So you've been real happy with this 1 millimeter, the 1
I
leather?
am. I'm this new leather.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody
very.
asked how fragile, if it's...
It's no. I beat the. You know, I really gave it a good kick, like the
the
tire.
workout, yeah.
And it's
Well,
fine.
and we don't, if we're introducing a new product, you guys, we're going to make sure that we put it through its paces
Yeah.
so it works out for you.
yeah.
JP, how long do I want to make this?
I would say
Section.
about 4 complete stitches,
Okay.
and then I think this is where a little tiny bit of
Glue
right between the legs would be
would be a good thing.
Would be a good thing.
So I'm going to add this here just
Right.
right there.
right.
And I'm just going to macrame over that.
Yeah.
So now I could add chain if I wanted, right?
yes. Yes.
So I'm going to switch boards with, or do you want to show anything on that?
I'm just having fun.
All
I'm
right.
supposed to be
Well,
working, but
I've never done chain before, Janice. So
we did get some questions about the chain.
So
Some people
I'm
are
gonna
pretty excited about that.
yeah. I'm
Do you
gonna
wanna
switch
do
this.
chain now?
Do you just want to walk me through?
I'm just trying.
Janice is just trying to put the lid on the hypo tube, and I'm trying to figure out how the heck we
Okay.
added
Okay.
the chain.
Okay, how about if we do the macrame now, though?
Yeah, let's do the macrame
Let's
part.
do the
Okay,
macrame
and then
part.
we've got to add the
And
chain.
then we'll go with the
We've
chain.
also got a whole bunch of questions about your bracelet, about the beads and the
Oh.
closure bead.
Yeah, well,
Isn't
we'll
that
put this in
pretty?
the episode notes, but
Yeah.
this is just our regular shadows, just laddered singly with that 2mm and
brass, right?
antique brass. And this is one of my buttons that I make out of coins. And so that's kind of a fun. But you can put any button you love on it, and it'll look really cool, I think.
Here it is.
But I love the distressed look of this, and then this also has a silk wrap, but you could macrame or anything like that
What
with
was
it.
the silk wrap with? Is it?
I use the
nylon?
silk wrap. No, I use 0.5mm leather
That's what it
to silk
looks
wrap
like.
it.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, it doesn't
I
look
wasn't
like-
afraid. I just silk
Yeah,
wrapped with
look,
leather.
that's great.
Do it, right?
Did you use glue?
I didn't. No glue.
Looks
At
great.
some point you got
All right, so JP.
So we cut like
Yes.
Ginger
you know,
still wants
two
to see
you-
the ends, how it's.
Okay.
The-
Here you
no,
go,
the-
Ginger.
no, the-
Oh,
Yeah,
this
your
this
tips.
end.
Yeah,
Ginger, see what we've got here?
Oh, it's okay.
Just so you can see.
she's asked a few times. So.
That's totally fine.
Ginger, calm
Yeah,
it
we
down,
just-
Ginge.
we just put a knot in the
Yeah.
ends, and then we put a rubber band
Rubber
through
band,
it and
see how
clipped
it's
it.
through?
That's it.
I'll take it off. And then it just
And,
goes through.
Kate, people
That's
are looking
it.
to purchase your homemade button.
Yeah, we'll have it up on the thing. I'll get to it. I promise. I promise. When I have a spare moment. When I'm not making new projects for you guys. Okay, so what do I do now, JP?
Okay, so let's take these ends
Okay.
and let's just
Bring them together.
Bring them together just so that we can macrame around them.
Okay.
I took a piece of tough cord number 1 in turquoise, about I don't know, depending on how long you make it, but let's just say that we don't need to be this long. I'm going to shorten this because we're just doing little short sections.
No. Ginger was just like appreciative.
Oh. You're welcome, Ginge.
And your mom wanted to know if she should order pizza.
Oh.
Why?
What's going on? I don't know.
Okay.
Who knows
so find
what those
the
people
middle.
are doing.
Find the middle. So
Okay.
I think I put 12 or 13 beads
And
on
these,
each end.
Gracie, are 3mm fire polish.
Right.
But hand me the sample, would you, JP?
Yeah.
Because you also did this not only with the 3mm fire polish, but you did this with the 10mm. I'm sorry, the 11 aught.
in metal.
Yeah.
Yes. When we can show that.
Yeah. And look at, I think they both are really, really
Yeah.
effective.
This is just it's like with 4 stitches and then you pull one up each on a side,
Mm-hmm.
and this one you do 2, then you do your stitches, then you do 4. I just wanted to show how you can change the pattern. You can do one up at a time. It doesn't have to all be the same bead. I was just working with what I had delivered to me from beadshop.com. That was it.
So now I'm going to start with my half hitch. I'm going to pull this around
Yeah.
just to make sure that I
Yeah.
have some space.
Yeah.
Now,
And it's
should
nice
I
that
glue
you're
it?
working from the back.
Yeah.
No, you don't need to glue.
Okay.
No.
So I'm going to lay in 4 stitches.
Okay.
Or maybe 2. Maybe I'll just
Okay.
do 2. So I'm going to go to my left.
You could also at this time pull up one of those big copper shadows if you wanted.
I could. Right. I
Yeah.
could. But since I don't have any on here.
You guys are getting your hair in the
Oh,
shot.
sorry. How do I look?
Okay.
Do I need my roots done, you guys? Probably. All right, now I'm going to do it on this side. Oh, gosh, how do you keep these
what?
little beads
Beads?
from getting...
Just there you go.
I'm the boss,
well,
right,
you,
Janice,
and,
of
and
these
hold
beads?
this if you hold that open.
Open, right,
Yeah.
and it goes through.
And then
Right.
start on one side, and that's going to be the side that you know when you start your
Right.
next one. You always start it from the left or the right.
So now I'm going to bring up a bead on this side,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to slide this bad boy up like this.
Mm-hmm.
And
and I slide one up on this side too.
So the same time.
double, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I did them opposite each other.
You're so brave. So here they are.
Right.
Now I just macrame.
Now you macrame.
All
Yep,
right.
just
I'm in charge. I'm in charge of this
and you
thread.
want to make sure that loop
it's got
stays
a
open a
tunnel.
little bit so it can
Right.
come through.
And
Pull
tighten.
it up.
Look,
Yeah.
I did it.
Yep. And then
So
yeah.
now, do I do a stitch or do I just do 2 more?
No, you do a stitch.
Okay.
You want to at least separate them,
All
or
right.
else they'll be right on top of each other.
Okay. So I'm going to do 1,
Right.
and then I'll do 1 more stitch.
I would do one more complete stitch.
Okay. So
I
like
think
this.
what I did was.
And I'm going to do like this.
So I did.
Oh, so you did like 4. So you did a bunch.
Yeah, I did a bunch of
Okay,
stitches.
I'm going to do a bunch. What I love about this, Janice,
Yes, dear.
is that you see the leather exposed.
Yes.
And that adds a whole element. And see how I also have my KO in there. I'm just going to keep the KO in because
Yeah.
I'm have like a kind of a little multicolor
Yeah.
extravaganza in there. I'm
Yeah.
going to do 1 more.
Yeah. See, you've got it.
Now I could, Janice, if I wanted to be
Yes,
crazy,
Katie.
really bohemian,
Yes.
I could mix and I could have the 3mm fire polish. Then I could have the 11/0.
You could.
I could,
Absolutely.
because the color study world is my oyster,
Exactly. You can do
Right?
you can do anything you want.
right? And
Yeah.
as long as your color mix, like the color palette that Janice has chosen, you know, for us right there, it looks beautiful and harmonious. And so if I always say, trust your color palette. If your beads work in your palette, they're gonna work in your final piece, right?
Right. And you can always, if all else fails, get out the old color wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Pick 3 colors that are analogous, 3 colors that are opposite each other. Just whatever floats your boat.
Do it, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
This is a
What
little.
am I doing?
Melanie's shouting out to throwing in a roller in there. One of the
Oh
Yeah.
yes, I had. You know what, Melanie? I had the rollers, and then I decided I wasn't going to use the rollers. I was going to use the shadows instead. But yes, I had the gold turquoise roller beads, which really look good with it. Hey Jen, would you grab a few of those? Or Brandywin, someone?
Aqua.
I think it was the aqua gold. Yeah.
So Janice, how would we end this section?
Again, you want to macrame down. Let's see.
So I'm gonna macrame.
And this, and you know, I would say, yeah, we just macrame down, and then
Because we're gonna
put a
add the
little
chain.
glue on it. Yeah, and I think we could definitely add the bead, the big shadow.
Okay, I
before
could
the-
take it off and
Yeah,
add this,
before
right?
the chain,
Okay.
because it'll give it a nice spin.
All right.
See, I did that before the chain.
Okay. So we'll
See,
show
right
how to
there.
Where are
take
you,
this
boy?
off.
Yeah.
Wait, Janice, wait.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Janice, wait.
Wait,
go.
wait.
Janice.
Can you see that?
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to. So what am I doing? What am I? Where am I? Who are you? I'm going to add my glue right here, right?
Yeah,
Maybe
I
a
would
little
add
more macrame, or
a
is this
little,
okay?
Just, I think. Well,
I can do it fast.
just maybe you don't need to add any more beads. But did you put glue down?
Not yet.
I would put a little glue
No.
down, and then
Where? Hello, glue. There it is.
I'll get you
Give 'em
out.
out glue.
I'll get you out
Okay.
Here's the shadow.
So little glue on, just right there, right?
Yeah.
And
Lisa
so
said she tried her first ladder bracelet this weekend on the fly.
good. Your first one, Gita.
Well,
She
first, not being a control freak.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, nice
yeah,
one,
she just
Gita.
let it go.
Nice.
And was
I can't wait to see the photo of it.
grateful for your inspiration to
Oh.
just kind of go and just do it.
Oh, You're welcome, Gita. We're grateful for you. So I've done a couple. So now it's ready. I'm ready for the shadow.
Yes. Here, I just.
So
I
I'm
put
going
it-
to take this
take
off,
this
Gracie
off,
Grace. So I'm going
unknot
to
it.
untape.
No, I kind of like it like with mini sections like
Right.
that. It's cute.
And I'm going to take all this off.
Would you like the scale of those 11s in there?
And I'm going
It
to
does. It really does.
knot,
yeah, I think it's
unknot
much
this.
less clunky than the original color studies.
Well,
Using
it's
the
just a
11s
different,
versus the
yeah.
8s.
This, I'm telling you, might be my second favorite bead right now. So I'm going to put it, should I put it through, what am I stringing this through? All of it?
Well,
So
yeah.
I still have my KO.
Yeah.
I've got my leather. I need to cut these beads away,
This is
right? This is a job for the
Okay,
big eye needle.
Well, you don't. That's why I got
Right?
them out. But you don't need all this. Let's just cut it
Alright.
off, okay?
Okay.
You just don't need.
Alright.
It's just let's get it out of the way.
Okay, bye thread.
Bye,
Okay.
beads and thread.
Oh.
Okay.
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 So now I need to get this shadow.
Right, and that's why
Over all
a big
this.
eye needle is
So,
really rad.
The way that I do this, you guys, kind of like we did on Free Tip Friday, I'm going to start and I'm going to put my leather through first.
Right.
Now, I've got all 4 of these threads, you
Right.
guys, that have to go through.
Right.
So I'm going to gather them all up because you know, as I know, I'm the boss of my thread. And this is why I actually like, I'll tell you, I
All
want
of
to
them
show
the
you
same
something.
length?
I do. Which is why
Yeah.
when you started cutting this short,
Yeah, I know.
So,
I know.
knock
I
it
know.
off, Parsons.
I know. I know.
So I give it all the
so
same
near,
haircut.
so far. So near, so far.
And now I'm just going to put this through. And if you guys don't have big eye needles in your stash,
you
they're,
gotta get
yeah.
them.
But
You
see how all 4 of these go through? And I'm just going to tighten it down there at the bottom so they hold. And I'm just going to send all of these threads. See how I'm pushing up on the shadow so I've got the tunnel open there? I get it through and I slide that big eye needle right through that tunnel. Now I can slide all of that up. Look at that. And I guess now what do I do? Now, Janice, what do I do now?
Well, you glued these down,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They're glued.
Yeah, they're glued. It's
You
glued.
should be able to just cut them.
Oh, okay.
You're going to start a new thread.
Do I want to cut it so there's little edges underneath the shadow? I'll cut it
Yeah.
on this side of the shadow?
Yeah, and you
All right.
put enough glue, right?
Yeah, I'm going to just put one more dot of
Okay.
glue just for fun.
slap it on a little
So
bit.
see,
yeah,
let me
slather it a little
just-
bit.
Yeah, all right. I like that. That's
And then
what-
here, I'll
yeah,
try again
Yeah,
to-
try again. Would you close that? All right. So my glue's kind of, yeah, I
So
slathered
that
mine
time
a
I
little
got
too
it right
much.
away.
So I've slathered, and now I'm just going to come in. I'm going to
And-
split these threads,
Here,
and
and
I'm going to
just-
get my Xuron.
and just cut them.
And
You're
I'm
done.
just, look, you guys, I'm just cutting them.
You're
Look
done.
at that. Bam. I'm throwing them to the side.
Yeah, you don't
right?
need them anymore.
Okay, so I need to get this tightened back on the board, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make that overhand knot, right? Like this. I'm going to get our new friend, the rubber band, and I want this to all be flat. See that? You guys,
Yeah.
there's no twist in my
twists,
my
no
leather.
twists.
I pull it to the board and I binder clip this puppy down.
Right.
And I put my little my little tough cord back in. Okay, Janice, I think we're
Okay.
ready for you know what.
Okay, so now we want to open this up a
All
little
right,
bit.
I got some KO.
And we want to take another thread with the needle. Do you have more?
Pilar wants to know if you change thread for every section.
No, you don't.
No,
have
you
to.
don't
Do
have
you
to.
carry the thread all the way down the bracelet?
No, probably
No.
not. And the reason why, Pilar, this has been carried down so much is because we did start with that long length of
Right.
thread, and I'm kind of making little mini sections. In
Right.
reality, you probably wouldn't carry it so much
Well-
through. So, and with this, Janice, this is KO up here. This
well,
section
this-
is tough cord, and now we're going back to KO. Is that right?
So in this
I've got
one,
right
here, the KO was used for the two sections. Because we stopped early with the macrame, this section would have been followed. We would have done the KO here with another ladder, and then we would have gone into the chain, and it was one long piece. So it went from here through here. I just put that there because I remembered that I had shadows. And then I did the chain,
Yeah.
and then I ended it here, and this is where there's another
But you
one.
can always add thread.
Yeah,
wherever.
you
And
can- you
the
can add
handout
thread.
has a great explanation.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I've got my KO.
Okay. All right.
So what do I do?
So what I'd like you to do is to just bring it through.
Bring it through the shadow?
Yeah, bring it through the shadow.
Okay. So I'm going to go through that little tunnel.
Go through the shadow.
Okay.
Okay, and then just do like an overhand knot. Go around. So just.
So I'm knotting around the shadow?
Yeah. Well, no, you're knotting around the leather. You're just.
Oh, I see. I
just
see
want you to have like a little.
Anchor of sorts.
Yeah, a little anchor. You could also knot this
I
up
see.
there.
I see.
So it's just a little.
Right. So it's holding it.
So I'm going to just do it one more time, and you won't see this really.
Mm-mm.
And then the glue. Oh, okay, sorry. And then the glue that you.
I slathered
Yeah.
will kind of hold it all in place, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
There.
Okay.
Okay. Then that will be. There's enough glue there. You should be able to cut that away.
Cut that away.
Yeah. And then now we've got your chain, and let's come around over to this side.
Okay.
And I'm just going to go through.
So you're kind of doing a kind of a infinity stitch with no bead on.
Yeah, but you're going to do it. You're going to do it here, and we cut the links so that they were like
Closed. It's a closed
Yeah,
link.
you want the closed link. You have to cut a
You
few
see
away.
that?
That's a nice.
And this is our wheat chain, Janice,
Yeah.
right?
So it's a nice. You could start with that, and then
Okay.
your wheat chain is basically your bead.
So so since I'm in the middle here,
Right.
I'm gonna get my wheat chain
Right.
and I'm gonna go through it. Now?
Right. Are you on the correct side for it?
I don't know.
It's
kind of in the middle.
Let's bring it under.
Under?
Yeah, under.
Okay.
And you normally put beads on the right side?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Sure.
So, okay. So now what's really important,
Okay.
Kate, is don't
Enough air.
put it up right against
The shadow.
Yeah, pull it down a little bit. There
Okay.
you go. Now go through it just
Go
like
through
you
this chain, right?
right, and you're going to bring
Oh.
it through and then go under.
This
That's
is so
it.
exciting, you guys. I've never done this before.
Okay.
Can you tell?
Now go under.
I'm gonna switch my fingers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Go
go under
under.
that side.
Right. The thing
Whoops.
is the chain needs to
Okay.
turn
now
a
I'm
corner.
gonna situate it a little
Now,
bit.
and then now
can
you're
you
gonna
see
go-
that
yeah.
okay, Gracie?
Now you're going to go back
Through that same length?
through the same one.
All right. I'm gonna go through the same link. Here I go.
Right.
And just through, right?
Through and
And
then
now do I go under again?
now you go under again, yes. And then we'll situate it up a little bit more.
A little
than
bit
that.
higher,
We'll
right?
give it a little.
Okay, a little
Yeah.
less air.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to tighten it just a hair.
Okay.
Do you like the look of that air?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Now go back through it again.
One more time, this top
Yeah.
one, like you reinforced
Yes,
that top
just
bead,
like that
right?
top bead. Yep.
Okay. Great. So now, what do I
go
do?
under
I go
and then
under.
find your next link, and it'll become obvious to me at least what your next
All right.
your next.
Let's see. So I'm
let's
under.
Get this
Let's
out.
get
Get
that
this
KO,
out.
that pesky KO. All right. So I'm going to get a little closer so I can see.
Okay.
Okay. Again, there's my air.
And
So I'm gonna, if I turn it, it's this. Let me show you. It's this chain right there. Is that right?
well, you went through this one here, right?
I did.
Okay. So you could then go through. It would be like this one, or you could go through this one.
So what we're looking at here, you guys, just so you can see, this is one link, and see right here the link that's facing us. That's the other link. That's a
Right.
second link. Then this one here is my third link.
Right.
So I'm going to come through, and I'm going to choose.
See, my links were about that far apart.
Okay. So if,
So if you see it on this side,
Wait, I'm having a hard time
Sorry.
seeing.
okay. So if you see it on this side, it's not as close. It's like more like that one.
that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, are you guys laddering on the back or the front of the chain, or how are you guys doing?
We're on
The back,
it's the
right?
button, yeah, but either side,
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't really matter. You'll get 2 different looks.
Okay.
So that when
So
you
if
wear
I
it,
go
you just
through-
flip the button and it'll give
Got
you
it.
the side you
Got it.
want.
I'm going to go through. So we were having this discussion with Karen a
Right.
little bit earlier, Janice, right?
Right.
Do you want to show kind of the 2?
Right.
So let me get my feet here, and then I'll
Sure.
But Janice, talk about kind
Okay.
of how.
So this
because
is
I
how
think,
Lacey did the 2 side by side, and I'm going to set that up in just a second. And she
I see.
has a very nice way, as does Karen.
Oh, this is kind of like learning on the fly. But
Yeah.
I think I've got it, you guys.
Um,
Yes.
there are several. These are the same chain, 2 different colors, but two different artists doing the same chain. And Lacey's lays flat, mine bulks up, and then I have a different look on the back. Hers is the same. It's just a different way, 2 different ways of doing it. I'm going to try, and this is also one that Karen did, and I always am curious how people do things, but this is Karen's. Karen's is also flatter than mine is.
She is the queen
Yes.
of laddering with chain.
Yes, and I think maybe we want to get Karen in here sometime to show her style.
So let me show you this, Grace. This will be pretty easy for people to see, I think. Notice how, whoops, I just dropped my pointer. It's like I was,
Oh, here.
here, it's like, can I have another? Thank you, waiter, can I have another? So see, you guys, that little kind of,
Oops,
the
sorry,
chain,
Kate.
how this chain is an S curve like this. Can you see that? See how I've gone through that S curve? Now, are you using my thread scissors?
Oh,
No, you
I
used
am.
my such
I used
stu-
my thread
yeah,
scissors to
not
cut chain.
yeah. Go sit in the corner, Janice. So going through, see how I'm going through the top of that S link? Then I came back through, then I dropped it down. So my visual clue is this S link, I'm going through the top of every S. Can you see that? And I think just like Janice was saying, it doesn't really matter where you go through, right, Janice, as long as you're
consistent. Yeah. be
So now I'm
consistent.
going to drop through, so then I'll show you where I'm going to go next. Okay, so here's this. Now I'm keeping the tension with my finger. I've gone underneath. Let me get my needle, and you guys tell me. See, where am I going to go? Where do you think I'm going to go? I'm going to go right. See, there's that S where I went down. So I'm going to go right here. See that? I could see how this one goes through, so I'm just going to go through right there. The chain, like you said, JP, the chain will tell you. And honestly, you guys, this is the first time I've ever laddered with chain.
Isn't it fun?
It's real. It is. It's super
Yeah.
fun. And the chain really is the roadmap. It'll tell you just, you know, like when you're doing a show, like when I used to do, be a dresser for, like, you know, plays, Broadway shows, not really Broadway, but you would tell your actor when they were standing there, if you did a quick change, you would say, aim for the light. Just stand there and aim for the light of the garment, and we'll put it on you. It's kind of the same thing. You aim for the light between the link of your chain. So my little thing is right there. I'm aiming for the light.
And Donna asks how you do the side-by-side chains.
That's what I'm setting up now.
Janice is setting that up, and that's what we'll show you right
Yep.
at the end.
Right.
Kendra wants to know if there's a beginner chain.
Well, this isn't
This
a bad
is-
chain.
this
You know,
is the
you
beginner
could.
chain.
No. Hey, Em,
Yeah.
would you go grab like a curve, like a chain that has a definite, you know, right angle to it, maybe? But this chain isn't too difficult. So see here?
I think
And I'm going to go back through. Like a Rolo, you know. You could do it with
I
that.
picked this chain because it was.
It's really,
it
I think
just
it's
seemed-
foolproof.
Yeah, it's.
Okay, so one more time, you guys, where am I aiming? Let's really take a look at this. Here's where I went before. See, there's my little S, my slight S curve. So here's the link that's below it.
Sorry, I'm moving.
No, do it. Here's the link below it. So I go right here, right? That's where I go.
Yep.
See that?
Don't make
So,
it too tight.
no, don't make it
Don't
too
make
tight
it
and
too
don't make it
tight.
too hard.
Susan
Yeah.
Susan wants to know if you're laddering on the chain that turns it sideways or.
Well, it won't turn it sideways, Susan, because this is kind of a round chain. So it's,
Well,
this chain
it
is kind
could-
of on its side anyway,
Yeah,
sort of.
it could twist,
Yeah, perfect.
but what you do as you go along is you just
Make sure that twist
keep the link that you're working with on top.
on top, yeah. So here, this is going to go back underneath.
And Gita is saying that Gracie's doing some great.
Oh, really?
Great camera work. So Grace, I'm sorry, Grace is really, this is an epic one for
yeah,
Grace,
for
you
Grace.
guys. So check it out, you guys. I have this link. Grace, I'm going to put this down. So,
Yeah.
and feel free to lean in on my shoulder, Gracie. So see how, you guys, if I hold this chain and you see a chain coming at you, a round chain, and then you see the other link, okay? This wheat chain is constructed the same way, except, see how if I twist these links, can you see how those links start to form an S? Can you see that? It's kind of the same, so that this link that's up top, see, you would just kind of come through it that way. So you can kind of see maybe how the chain is constructed a little bit. But you could ladder with something like this, and you would ladder through this chain link that's here, and then you just come back around through there, and then you drop down to that one. And so,
You'd go in the one with the direction
Yeah,
that goes for the ladder.
right. See, but that's how it is. That's how this chain, it's similar, except that little link that's the one that you ladder through is just kind of a little curve, right?
And Susan wants to know if there's a difference in laddering if you want it flat. If you want to have the chain flat.
Well, Susan, that's like with Karen's that we've got right here. Especially with this doubled chain, Karen went through, it's hard to see with the black, but here's this link. She went through that one, she went through this one, she went through this one, and she went through this one.
Is this what we'll do?
So this is going through 4 links, and I think what with Janice, what this one may just be going through like those 2 links,
Yeah.
maybe. So Janice is just about ready to show you guys.
Go move to Janice.
Yeah, you ready? Yeah.
Okay, because I like how you're starting it.
Yeah, let's do it. And I'm going to keep
So
laddering.
I did put a little graduation to begin with, because it's not like the one chain which has that delicious one link to graduate. I have to get 2 in. So I strung on 2 pieces, and I'm going to fit them in there now. And can I just bring this a little closer
Yeah,
to
totally.
me?
Whoops, sorry,
I'm
Janice.
just going to.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I'm stuck in my sweater.
Janice, you just have about
2 minutes?
yeah.
Okay,
To show
so
this,
I'm just going to,
FYI.
FYI,
I
I
know,
need
hate to
another
bring-
30 minutes.
I know, I hate to bring this one to a close, literally.
Okay, so,
But laddering this chain is awesome.
so I've got this now, the 2 in there, right? Side by side.
Mm-hmm.
And my instincts, this is my instincts, are, and especially if I want it flat, I'm going to go through as many as, see that there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to go through those 4 there. And I'm going to hold it down while I pull it through. And I don't want to forget, go under. And Then I want to come back across. I'm going to go through this here, and you just kind of like, you just find your way. It's really kind of crazy. You just keep your chain nice, and you look at it. I'll pull that up, but you can see when it's side by side, it's nice. And you don't want to twist them. You just
Yeah.
use your instincts.
And keep your tension not too tight.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring
but
this.
not too loose.
Yeah. So I want to.
Oh, I see. That one.
Let's bring this up.
Only when brings the pizza.
Right. Right.
Is my mom causing trouble on
No,
Facebook?
everybody's like, don't go.
go.
Oh.
And Ginger's like, 4 hours.
Debbie
You
McKee says
guys
JP
are
needs to
very
stay another
sweet.
week.
Aw.
Way better
Well.
than wait for the baby giraffe to be born.
Well, you know, I think that this is. I'm going to start doing Bead Doctor on Mondays, and
You guys will see more of Janice. Don't you worry.
I think this is like Dria's making up a list of all the things we get questions on. So you want to find where it's easy to go through, not too difficult. So I'm gonna find my way
Oh, I
again.
skipped
And that's
mine right
wheat
here.
chain for Joyce.
Wheat chain, yeah.
Wheat.
And Debbie wants to know about glue dots to hold in place.
Oh, that's a good. Idea.
Oh, glue dots to hold in. How would you
Hold the
use?
chain in place while you're getting started with it. So that you can make sure it's flat. And you can,
Maybe you could try it. I think that you guys, I think it's actually when you try this, it's going to be a lot easier than you think. And just do a short little section, like with my bracelet here, you guys. You can just do a short little section of chain. It doesn't have to
So
be
you
a
want to line it
full
up, get
wrap,
it nice and
you know?
even.
Yeah,
It could be-
Somebody did suggest this is a great use for chain ends.
yeah.
Yes, for bits of chain
just
that you.
slap a little bit
Yeah,
of chain
take
in
any
there. It's
chain.
all right.
And then you get going. Here we go. I've
There
got
it
glue
is.
on my
Yeah, that
fingers.
was Ginger that suggested it. Chain ends.
yeah, go way back.
And this one. Okay.
You know,
Ginger
I
also likes
I
floral bead
personally,
shop, like.
just FYI, I don't worry about catching every. Maybe that's why mine is so messy looking. But I don't worry about catching like every single link, every single minute of the day. It's like whatever. Like just get the chain in, have fun with it.
See, and I just took my last stitch out because I didn't catch the right one.
See,
I should just take a leaf out of your chain book.
you know, and then I
Janice.
get really good stitches done, and then I do crummy stitches.
So how would we?
In the end, it all looks fine.
Yeah, it does. It really does. How would we
And
bring
this,
to a close? Because I actually have almost enough to end it here. I mean, you know, as another little short piece of chain that I.
well, you do pretty much the same thing where you finish your last link,
Okay.
and
So I'm gonna.
And then
I'm gonna
if
cut
you
this
look-
away.
cut
the remainder of my chain,
away.
yeah.
Cut the chain away. Don't cut your thread away.
No. Let me do one more stitch, and then Gracie
Yeah, I'll come over.
we'll bring this.
So this
sucker-
is just how you do it. Is that answer like everybody's questions? Sort of. It looks pretty good. It looks like it's laying side by side. I'm not doing it too tight.
I think by you not doing it intentionally, I saw you go through all the links.
I went through all the links.
Correctly. Like it went in the same direction,
Yeah.
and it looks consistent on the ends here, like the spacing.
So maybe I know how to do
You
this.
do know how to do it, Janice. Come on.
Maybe I do.
Where's that? I need a wire.
Maybe I
Don't make me
don't.
laugh when I'm holding the camera. It shakes everything up.
Okay, so then you do this the same way. You go along, blah blah blah. Have a good time. Don't worry.
times, good
See,
times.
and the stitches are sort of even. You know, I didn't do a great job of starting this because I was in a rush. But yeah, this is. Are my 2 minutes up? Really?
Just about, JP. I'm
Oh.
sorry. but I'm getting mine all set here to close it off.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Grace.
No problem.
So does anyone want to come to my house? I want to do a bead thing at my house.
Oh, you
in
want
Virginia.
people?
I
I told people
trying
to
to-
look out for your
I'm trying
bead
to make-
doctor in the morning.
I'm
on
trying
Monday
to
morning.
make friends.
Janice, you always sound so like sad when you come on here. You have already made
Well, you
That's
know,
friends
my
and
Two so far.
you have
My
friends
friend-
at the Y.
My friend Jackie has said, okay,
Free.
so she said you have to have coffee with one new person every week.
Right.
And I'm so busy and I have to go swimming and then rush home that I've actually started taking my coffee right to the poolside.
Right.
So that as I swim with these really nice ladies,
You can have your coffee
I
with
can
them
have
too.
my coffee
I
and
love
I
it.
can meet my goal
I
of
love it.
a coffee every week
Every
with a new
week.
person.
That's hilarious.
Ginger says
So-
she's a couple hours away.
So you can see.
Oh, Ginger,
So see here
come
how
visit me.
we're closing this off.
I'm
I've
serious.
got Janice. Stop whining about your no friends and let's bring this to a close.
Okay.
Or else my mom's going to order pizza and have it sent to everyone.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? So let's go through. So now my last chain link, and I'm just going to check with you, JP. It's
Yeah.
this right here, right? I'm going to go through
Yeah,
this.
you go through that, reinforce it just like
Okay.
you would.
So I'm going to go through that one.
Yeah.
And I'll go under. And I'm going to reinforce. So I'm going to go back through right. You see that little opening, you guys? Go for the tunnel like you're in a quick change in a show. And I'm going to go under, and I'm going to reinforce that twice times. So I'm going to go through and then through. So now I could macrame, Janice, with this KO.
Just you could cut
Right.
cut the needle off.
Yeah, like I did up here.
Right, exactly. Exactly. You just want to leave a little bit of air
Air.
because when the chain
Mhm.
curves, it's metal and
it doesn't give.
it's got lots of individual links which are like elbows, but if it doesn't
There we
have
go.
any leather to move on, it's not going to
It's
move.
got to have some nice movement.
They're like,
So I'm going to go ahead and cut this away, Gracie.
All right.
Like this. I'm going to cut my needle away. Throw my needle over
Right.
there. And I'll
macrame,
just
that's it.
macrame. Now, if I were
Macrame.
starting, JP,
Yeah,
a new thread, let's say that I was going to do something else here.
right.
I'm going to start this way. I could macrame a couple, right? Not too tight, not too tight. Ah, Kate. There we go. Air.
Let's say you were going to another section,
Yeah.
right?
So I could just kind of tie it and maybe do like one macrame or two.
I think if I knew I was going to another
Uh-huh.
section, I would not cut the needle off. I would just tie an overhand knot, a couple of them, put on the shadows bead,
To cover
and
that
I'd
up?
have all that long thread. So I wouldn't cut it.
Okay. I could though,
But since you have,
since I have.
you could just macrame a few
Right.
stitches.
And then I'll do this one more. And then what I might do is, since this KO is so,
Long, you put
Slim.
yeah.
let's say that I was gonna, maybe I wanted to go to this section again.
Just take a
Right.
new piece of
I'll just take a new, may I have
your
the,
thread scissors
no,
/ wire
those,
cutters. What do you want?
I want that that tough cord, please.
The one right
cord.
there. Oh no.
No, it's the
sorry.
wrong, that tough cord.
Oh, sorry.
It looks like tough cord, acts like tough cord, must be tough cord. I could just get my tough cord. I could,
You go right over it.
right,
Yeah. Go right over it
Mhm.
and hide it.
and hide it.
Yeah.
And I'd put a little bit of glue down there. I'd tape this one down. May I have a
Rip
tape?
Sure.
Thanks. But I think that's, you guys, the beauty of this color study.
How come you get more time than I do?
Well,
I don't think that's
no,
fair.
that's not true.
Well,
Gosh.
you made me stop, so
Well-
you'd have more time.
Well, I wanted to show this closure.
Okay.
Oh, Janice.
just doesn't seem fair,
Well,
does it?
I know.
Does
It's
it?
not fair. So let's take a look at this. And then you could, let's get your beautiful sample back though.
Yeah, and then
See how
you-
I butter her
yeah,
up, you
and
guys?
then you can just, I know.
See that?
And then you can just go to another thing.
Yeah. So this, and also let's say that this was the right length, that this was a long bracelet. See how Janice closed? Let's look at this closure. See how that macrame and this macrame kind of match, right? So I could just close it. I'd finish it off, leave the length I need for the button, re-macrame, or you could just tie a knot, whatever,
Right,
and
so
put the ends.
you can either bring the, you reinforce this last bead, you can knot underneath it, and then this is just a section of the tough cord over it, and then another section there. I didn't use a thread burner. I just used a little bit of glue right between the leather, and
to glue
then
it down.
at the ends I just used a tiny bit of glue. What happens with thread is that after a while on its own, with your body, your oils of your skin, hand lotion,
They just
whatever,
shrink it up,
They
right?
shrink. They just do that. And then this is where I used your cute little go
My
through
little
the
double
knot
overhand.
Yeah. We didn't get to any of the shadows today, but they are the little shadows, and 3 across works just beautifully with the bugles. So it goes in and out a little bit based on the beads, but it's bohemian. It's boho style.
Yeah, it's really great.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
under the project, you'll find on the project page for this, you'll see a great depiction of the project map, so you can see the whole thing. Yep. Okay.
And then
that's
next
great.
on Monday we'll have the episode notes.
Yeah, Janice will
where
work on those episode
where we'll
notes.
break all this out.
Yeah. But it really looks. Let's do one final shot, JP,
Of
of
me.
your double chain. Look at
Yeah.
that double chain. How nice it is.
It's really pretty.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest with everybody. Do you know what happened?
What happened?
Why I didn't use the double chain? I was going to have 2 sections of chain, a single and then a double. And the cats took the chain off my project board and they hid it under the sofa.
Oh.
So that I finally found it, but I'd already
Already
nailed
done it.
off the bracelet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well.
So I didn't get to put the double chain in.
Wow.
But
That
we'll
looks
have
really
it. We'll have
cool.
it.
Look at.
yeah.
I love my little.
Isn't it sweet?
Look at my
Yeah.
little sampler.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really like this
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
So you don't have to commit right off the bat to this
No.
gigantic 8-wrap behemoth,
No.
which I want to do next.
There were actually a few
But-
comments about how people like the smaller little segments.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
smaller segments. And this
Yeah.
I probably maybe have one more segment to go and I have a single wrap.
Yeah.
I think it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
If I do say so myself.
Yeah. You could do the half tieless, which would
I
be
could.
fun.
I'd do the half tieless
Yeah.
right here, and then
Yeah.
we'd have a little sampler,
Yeah.
which I think I will finish.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Janice!
I know. It was fun. I want like another 3 hours with my
Don't egg
peeps.
them on, right? Oh, you guys, we have had such a fun
Yeah.
day, and again, we went a little bit long because we
Sorry,
had a little
we-
bit of our
yeah.
technical difficulties. But we really, really appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for flying
Yeah.
back.
Oh.
But we'll see you again
Yes.
soon.
Yes.
We're going to be doing some planning this week. We're going to finish up doing some planning for our retreat
Yeah.
that's coming in September.
Right.
We have a couple of more spaces for that retreat, so you can find it's our Color by Design retreat right there on beadshop.com. We have, I think, just a couple more. It's almost full.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking about that, go on there and check out all the
Mm-hmm.
details. And we also we can't leave without a giveaway from you,
No, we have to
right?
have one.
And this was your giveaway.
Yes,
Yeah.
this was one I picked.
Let me
and-
take a swig of this
Okay.
coffee.
Okay. So we're getting in a
To
new
fortify
line
myself,
of
I think I just
beautiful-
swigged all over me.
No, you're fine.
Am I all right? Did I
You're
not
fine.
drool? Okay. Shoot.
A beautiful line of metal bibs and earring components.
Perfect for the bohemian
Yes.
design.
And we haven't put them online yet. This is one of
No,
them.
they're not online yet.
And I'd like to see what everyone does with them.
Mhm.
I'd like, sure. So it's, you make a a bib. I just think it's wonderful. You can, put pearls. You could do chain.
We're also going to work on our tiara challenge.
Yes.
I could tiara challenge
You
this sucker,
could.
right?
You could.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
You could. You could. It would be
Love
great. It would be great. So we're going to give one of these away in every order.
Yeah, so we're going to extend. We're going to sign off now. It'll be about 12:30 Pacific time. We're going to have this go till 1:30 Pacific. And it says 1 here, but today, you guys, is the 12th of July, 2017. So if you're watching this on the replay, we're sorry that this offer is no longer valid after 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. But if you write in your shipping notes, when you place your order of any size, you put bib, and then you say what color you want. Bib plus copper or silver or brass.
And I'm going to zoom in so we can
Yes,
see the
and we'll
options.
include one of
silver,
these.
brass, copper.
Copper. And we'll
Whatever
include
your
that,
favorite metal
in your order.
is. Yeah.
And since Janice is here today, we did just a special little discount.
Oh, JP15.
So it's JP15. So Janice, you're giving everyone 15% off store-wide.
Absolutely.
And that store-wide ends tonight, you guys, at midnight. 7/12/2017 at midnight Pacific time. So you can jump in, get those color study. We really want to see what you do with the color study. Gosh, I feel so hot. It was such an exciting, fun.
We had fun.
Yeah. So
Just
did you
not
enjoy your
long
time
enough.
back?
I
know.
did. Not long enough.
Well, you'll be back. You're not going
I
far.
will.
You're
And
gonna
I
be-
feel good about Monday Bead Doctor when I start that, which will be when Drea gets back from her vacation.
Yeah, and you, of course, Janice, is usually on the other side of the computer when we're here, Facebook Living. She's doing the moderating.
Right.
So next week, we've got a couple of things I wanted to mention before we sign off.
Okay.
This week, we are starting, before you leave, Janice, we're starting an employee, the Tiara Challenge. A few weeks ago, you guys saw on our Free Tip Friday when I made those hairpins. Well, we've also got the tiara frames in. So you can pop a tiara frame. They're online now. You can pop one in your cart and grab that right away. We're going to be doing a challenge with everybody here, all the employees here. So we're going to pop in maybe tomorrow and throw some pictures and stuff your way so you can see it. And then there'll be more info on that on my Free Tip Friday on Friday. And then next week, you guys, Grace is going to be not behind the camera. She goes, thank goodness, not behind the camera. She's going to be in front of the camera, and we're going to be doing Across Cultures, which is going to be super
Fabulous.
fun. I'm really excited.
Grace made beautiful samples.
Yeah, they're really beautiful.
Beautiful.
And then we're going to wrap the month up with Emily and Seed Bead School. Right, Emily Miller?
Yes.
We're going to be doing my favorite stitch, which is flat peyote, which is going to be super fun. So we've got some great samples to share with you. All right. Well, I think that wraps it all up. Did you want to say, do you want to put a little, say goodbye to Eli? You drew a little Nemo there, Janice, for Eli.
I know. I can't find real Nemo. I think he's at home in Virginia. So hi,
All
Eli.
right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching and sharing, and thank you, Janice, for all of this great learning.
Thank you, everybody.
This is an epic one. So thanks. All right, it's Kate and Janice. We're out from Facebook, on Facebook Live from beadshop.com, and I'll see you guys on Friday. Bye.
Bye-bye.